Donglegate. So everybody and their brothers and sisters has already commented on Donglegate. Um, the one thing that I haven't really seen discussed in relation to Donglegate is questioning the value proposition from a feminist perspective. So, before I engage in my discussion, I want to say a few things as given ahead of time. Given that women are economically disadvantaged compared to men in our society, on the whole, given that in the tech industry in particular, they are outnumbered dramatically. What was PyCon supposed to be 20% women, 1 in 5? Dramatically. And given that the goal is to increase the number of women in the tech industry to rough parity, as well as to increase the value of their paychecks to roughly parity. Given those as basic facts and goals, let's look at what actually happened. Adria Richards feels that the reason why women are unable to engage in the tech industry is because of the old boys club nature of tech. Well, that's true to some extent, at least as far as the boys club nature of tech goes. There's no way to look at it any other way. Tech is dominated by men. On the other hand, let's look at what the men in tech are. Now, this has changed a little bit recently, but over the course of tech history, when I was in high school, if you were into tech, if you were a computer science guy or anything else, you were a geek. You were a beta male at the best, and mostly really a gamma male or even an omega male. Socially, women didn't want you, men didn't want you. You weren't on the football team, screw you. You're a fag. You're a pussy. You're not accepted by the greater society. So the men who got in there, who went into tech, to a great extent, were already socially marginalized. And again, this has changed quite a bit recently, as women have climbed to 20% of tech, which is a big change from 30 years ago. As women have clawed that bit out of the tech industry, during that time, most of the men were these people. They're not the dominating women type. It's just, the social atmosphere of tech is that of the already socially stunted geeks. I mean, there's a reason why the joke in particular in question was a dongle joke, kind of stupid, childish sex humor. What a surprise that geeky tech guys were engaged in it. So, you feel that jokes like this are preventing somehow women from being involved in tech. That this kind of joking about sex is somehow hurting you or your, most importantly, that little girl who's never going to go into tech. She won't be allowed to learn and love to enjoy programming because of dongle jokes and forking. Never mind that the rest of society is absolutely awash in sex and sex jokes, be it from women or men or anything else. Sex jokes are all around. Double entendres, jokes It would be one thing if the jokes were directed at women, it wasn't even that. It wasn't oh, well, women are too stupid to, get tech or something. I mean, it wasn't even to that kind of level. So, as a result of kind of just kind of bantering between two guys who were making jokes among themselves that just happened to be overheard, in comes a woman who is going to take it upon herself to see to it that this stops, and isn't going to do it in what seems to be the obvious way, which is turn around and go, hey, can you not joke about dongles like that? It's bugging me. I'd like to pay attention to the speaker, and I don't really want to listen to that behind me. Maybe it wouldn't have gone so well, maybe it would have. You gotta at least try it first. Didn't even go there. Went straight to public shaming. That thing that feminists are so against, public shaming. Go straight to that. Which of course results in people getting fired, and more people getting fired, and more internet shitstorm, and, people whining and back and forth and everything else. So the end result is now you've got the tech industry with a bunch of men who are all socially have issues with women to start with, many of them, who've got social issues with everything in the current system. You'd call it the patriarchy, because, the current system is all about patriarchy, men controlling everything. That's so important to you guys. Most of the tech people, they are not so good at that either. They didn't, they didn't do well in the normal stretch of social interaction. So now you've basically trying to make them paranoid over everything they say, especially when it's around a woman. Oh my God, the woman's here. Be paranoid. Which of course isn't gonna be conducive to a good work environment. If every woman you see is scary, oh my God, I might say something wrong that's gonna get me fired around this woman. I gotta be really, really careful. Or HR managers involved in this, worried that if I hire that woman, is it going to mess up my little environment here, or is she going to, I've got these really good workers, but they're socially inept geeks, and they say stupid things all the time socially that make no sense, but damn, they're good programmers. If I hire a woman into this, is this going to ruin my business? And questions like that basically the unintended consequences of this. So, what is your goal here? Your goal is to increase participation. I'm all for it. I think the actions taken don't increase participation. I think the actions taken are, in the long run, designed to slow participation uptake. They're not helping. And that's my big problem, is not that there isn't a basis to it, not that there wasn't a basis to the complaint, although to some extent I don't understand the basis to the complaint. I don't see how a dongle joke hurts anyone. Especially not, it's not like they were up there on the stage going, well, making all these dongle jokes on stage for no reason. They weren't the speakers. They were just some audience members. there to listen to the speakers. Maybe they would have been speakers later, and if they'd said such a thing in their speech, would have been a very different story. That wasn't what they were doing. They were just kind of joking around, passing the time, waiting for something to happen. Inappropriate? Yeah. No, I'm not going to defend it. I don't see why it's so inappropriate that it merits public shaming or firing. But that's where you went. And then, of course, the backlash happens and is amplified by 4chan. You're surprised. And you think this is going to help you. Enjoy. Enjoy the fruits that you have sown.